Welcome to the show. It's T with D. DJ spinning tracks. Got that reggae spree. Tune in the dots. Let the vibes be free. Late night session. Sip that turbo tea. Coming on the late show. Sing it on TNN. Hope you're feeling right. Cause we got the vibes so grand. Get cozy on the wine. With news that you be man. T with pizza spot. The best in podcast land. Welcome to the show. It's T with D. DJ spinning tracks. Got that reggae spree. Tune in the dots. Let the vibes be free. Late night session. Sip that turbo tea. Coming on the late show. Sing it on TNN. Hope you're feeling right. Cause we got the vibes so grand. Get cozy on the wine. With news that you be man. Tea with pizza spot. The best in podcast land. Welcome back, listen us to our cozy nook. Where the beats go like pages in a favorite book. Settling, feel the rhythm in every book. Tonight's the night, let's dance and cook. You have a great time, make yourself at home. In this rhythmic zone, where the melodies from. See with pizza legs out, where music keeps you warm. Join the jam, find your peace in the storm. Welcome to the groove, it's tea with me tonight. Feel the reggae flow, let it make the world right. Come and find your comfort, you need to start us right. With every track we spin, you take you to new heights. It's our place to chill, with rhythm that's in chance. Join us the moment, let's give you all the chance. Run up the sweet serenades, let the music down. Open up in my prayer time, I swear all in action. Welcome to the show. It's T with D. DJ spinning tracks. Got that reggae spree. Tune in the dots. Let the vibes be free. Late night session. Sip that turbo tea. Coming on the late show. Sing it on TNN. Hope you're feeling right. Cause we got the vibes so grand. Get cozy on the wine. With news that you be man. Tea with pizza spot. The best in podcast land. Welcome to the show. It's T with D. DJ spinning tracks. Got that reggae spree. Tune in the dots. Let the vibes be free. Late night session. Sip that turbo tea. Coming on the late show. Sing it on TNN. Hope you're feeling right. Cause we got the vibes so grand. Get cozy on the wine. With news that you be man. Tea with pizza spot. The best in podcast land. Hey, good night, folks. It's time to unwind. Think favorite tracks. Leave your stress behind. Welcome to the show. This song was just for you. Tea with peas, your proof. Where dreams is getting you. Coming on the late show. Sing it on TNN. Hope you're feeling right. Cause we got the vibes so grand. Get cozy on the wine. With news that you demand. Tea with peas, the spot. Leave this with podcast land.
Diamonds so pale, and I'm gonna take you traveling the world. I'm gonna love you, babe. Cross my heart and hope to die.
Oh, little funky junkie, little Marky Mark. Hey, Mrs. P's getting pumped over there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are warm. Kicking it flat today, baby. Happy Wednesday evening, ladies and gentlemen. You might be wondering, what? T with P on a Wednesday? What? How come, guys? Children's organized sports. Yeah, that's about all I can say. But yeah, we're here today because we couldn't make it tomorrow. And I was like, I'm not going 2 weeks without a show because we missed last week because of children organized sports. And then I was like, yeah, we're just going to do this, baby. We're going to do this. Good to see everybody pulling on up here. I see Keith is in the house. Keith, it's been a long time, brother. It's been a long journey. It's been a great one. It's been great to see you here along for the whole ride, man. Show to you, the missus and the daughter. Idiom, what's up, brother? Dro is in the house. Automatic, what's up, man? The flock is here, man. The Twitch crew is in the house. Daz, what's up, man? What's up? Motivated by Terps, dude. V-Shack, what's up, man? PD Riot. PD, it's good to see you too, man. We got some legends in the house tonight. Garden Quest, speaking of legends, good to see you, friend. Good to see you. Hope you're well and warm tonight too, man. Shout out to everybody who's pulling on up. Chop was pulled up. Yeah, we pulled up. Yeah, good to see you guys, man. Thanks for pulling up, man. I really appreciate it. As I mentioned, happy Wednesday. We've got a great show in store. We're going to be talking about all things nudes, culture, science, health, you name it. Nothing's off the table here. Everything from Texas banning THC/hemp products to looks like arsenic and a ton of other toxins being found inside products. We've got a ton to discuss, including some presidential reactions through the decades of different sayings or different positions that presidents have taken over the years towards our beautiful plant. After all said and done, we're also going to be taking a dive into planting with P. We're going to be talking about the question of the night. Question of the night is going to be, what's the most frustrating thing in your garden? What's the most frustrating thing in the garden for you? Posted this question on my Twitter, my X account, and people answered the call. So we're going to be diving into that. And if you would like to participate in the question, head on over to my X at Pigeons420. Boom, it's up on the screen. Go check that out. You can respond to the tweet, and I'm going to go through them all, man. I'm going to go through them all and just address what is your most frustrating thing in the garden, what I would do about it, and see if we can try to find ways to avoid the frustration, man. Had a great guest in store tonight as well. However, can't blame it on the guest. I blew this one. Rescheduled a wonderful guest for tonight, and then I completely dropped the ball in communications and missed that one. I was going to have to meet a little bit early with this guest because of time zones, but I totally dropped the ball on the time zone difference and missed it. So this one's all on me tonight, guys. I'm the reason that we're dropping balls around here. So if you're new here, welcome to Tea with P, where the T is beer and the P is me, and we talk about all things nudes, culture, science, health in this community, typically every Thursday, 9 p.m. Central. But before I get into my thank yous, Mrs. P, how you doing?
Good. Drinking rum.
I am drinking rum, but beer sounds better in the saying. It does. Yeah, it does. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah? We were at baseball just before this, were we not?
We were.
Yeah, we were losing.
We did.
Did you say it was a final? The final's already done? It's done?
17-13.
17-13. Lost. No, 13-17. Yeah. We lost. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. But we played good. That's what matters, right? That's what matters, man. Mr. CLTV, good to see you, friend. Mr. JJ Grow is in the house, too.
Rob is your guest.
Yeah. So Rob's your guest. Yeah, JJ. I want to give a huge shout out to my patrons, dudes. Thank you guys so much for your patronage. If you see your name at the bottom of the screen, that's because you are a part of the inner squad over on Patreon, patreon.com/pigeons420. And there's a bunch of perks that come along with being a patron to the channel. And one of those perks is that you get to see your name all come across the screen. Plus, every Sunday we do a wake and bake over on Twitch, twitch.tv/pigeons420, where we go through gardens and we check out what people have got growing on, and we give a little bit of advice if needed, and or we just admire and slightly drool. But if you want to come join that, there's perks for everybody, including live interactive grow classes where we as a team grow a plant together, or as a class, and we grow a plant together to try to harvest a big, beautiful, bountiful plant. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, come on over, patreon.com/pigeons420. Also, can't go on too much farther without saying thank you to my members of the channel as well. I gotta get a nice fancy graphic for you guys, but huge shout out if your name is in green in the chat tonight. You're a real one. You're a legend. I thank you for supporting the cause. I thank you for being a part of the mission to try to spread out cannabis awareness to any and all who are willing to listen, and to try to make sure that those who can benefit from the beautiful healing properties of this plant can do so. So thank you guys for supporting the mission. So appreciate you guys, man. What are you guys smoking on tonight, man? Dr. Rapotnik. These whack politicians are trying to mess with our cannabis laws. Yep, they are. And just quick poll in the chat: are you in favor of legalization or no? All opinions are welcome here. Do you want to see regulation, legalization, or do you want to say no? Leave it to the black markets. It's a great system as it is right now. Just quit throwing us in jail. What do you think? What do you think? As you're trying to figure that out, I'm going to need a few items, Mrs. P, because I came over here ill prepared. If you open up the third drawer, I'm going to need the screens. I'm going to need the scissors and some weed.
The tray?
The tray would be great. Mash. You just put it right there. I'll come collect it. That one's got some weed in it, I think. No? That one. Yo, Dro House joining the flock. Thank you so much for the membership, dude. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Deschedule is better, or is not as good as legalization. Yeah. And actually, as a matter of fact, we're going to be touching on decriminalization just a bit because it's a touchy subject. I'll take the ashtray too. Just getting situated here, ladies and gentlemen, because it wouldn't be a nudes show if we didn't have weed to take care of. Yo, and Wisconsin's in the house. Shout out to my guy, Mr. V. Seeker's in the house. Seeker, good to see you, brother. What's in the first drawer? Mrs. P, what is in the first drawer? I don't know.
First drawer?
Yeah. Oh shit, close. Don't tell him.
Couple of remotes.
Oh, it's remotes for my lights. For all the lighting are in here. It's the remotes for all the lighting in here.
That's tape.
And some tape. We keep all the fun stuff in the other drawers there, my guy.
It's like a what's in your bag.
What's in your wallet?
What's in every drawer?
What's in everyone's drawer? I'm gonna be smoking on a little bit of okay, in drawer number 2, Mrs. P.
Yeah.
What is it? Rockstar? Peanut butter Rockstar?
Yeah.
Peanut butter Rockstar. That's what I'm. Shout out to the moms out there. Okay, they got this one fresh on order. Actually, it's like months and months old, but it's still good stuff. Got a natural Canatrol down here. Smoking on some cookies. All right. You've been around for a long time, and I don't think I've ever said this right. Mini cannabis or min cannabis? What do you think that is, Mrs. P?
I would say mini.
Mini cannabis. I've seen this name for many years.
Well, mine.
Mine cannabis. Yeah, smash. Yo, crippled cannabis cowboy. First of all, love your name. Second of all, thank you so much for joining the flock. I appreciate the support. Thank you for joining the mission. Bonnie's going to join up as well. Thank you, Bonnie, for joining the flock. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for the support. It means the world to me. Thank you guys. Shackleford 2, just don't open the bottom left one. Yeah, that one's. Oh, she's opening it.
It's empty.
Oh, it's empty. The bottom left one's where I keep all my munchies. That's where I just finished the box of cookies.
Oh, yes. I have to restock the bottom left.
Yo, Defino Hunter, man. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. We're going to be touching on legalization, decriminalization just a little bit here tonight, too. So I'm not going to dive too much into it right now, but definitely will be touching on it because one of the stories that somebody wanted me to touch on today was the UK's stance on cannabis and whether or not they should be decriminalizing. And the reality is I think, and as I've mentioned many times before, I do believe that decriminalization is a cop-out by our politicians to pass the responsibility from the judicial branch, from the legislative branch to the judicial. And I think that's a cop-out. And it's as people that are voted in to take care of policy, decriminalization is a cop-out. So I pretty much just said my opinion anyways. So we'll get into that more. But thank you guys, Bonnie. Good to see you. Love to support my boys when I can. They've taught me pretty much everything I know about growing. I'm so glad to hear that. Scotty Will, what's up, man? Pigeons in Northern Strucker has me drink when I see them. Has me drink when I see them. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. But I appreciate you nonetheless, Scotty. I'm going to have me a little rip here of some non-harmful, non-child content consuming product. Okay? I'm not going to glorify this in any way. My experience will be mundane, ambiguous, and vague. Oh! Did we get that on high? Oh my god, I just spilled all my weed. Did we catch that in 4K, ladies and gentlemen?
I did.
Nah. All right, we'll just put that on the floor and we'll start over. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it.
Do you remember the day that we would have like picked that all up?
Yeah, yesterday, but I'm live. But I'm live and I don't want to do it in front of the people. Oh, damn it. Oh, well. Oh, well, I didn't want to smoke that bowl anyways. That was for my homies. Hey, that was for my homies.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace. That was for our homies right there. Let's try this again. Such a confined space. There's so much weed on the floor now. I wish I packed smaller bowls.
You clean it up before you let the dogs in.
Yeah, it'll be good for them. It'll be good for them. Actually, since I've got everything here, let me go ahead and just put a little bit of Cristal on the top of it. Here's a question for you guys too. Do you guys keep your crystals? And by crystals, I mean the THC. Do you guys keep that in the bottom, or do you guys not? Do you guys just include it on every bowl? Somebody made a reference to me one time, like, hey, why do you keep the crystals in the bottom? It's like scraping off all the icing off your Oreos and just putting it in a jar and just eating all the Oreo cookie parts. And I was like, yeah, it is. You don't do that? Come on. I like to save it. Can you switch cams, babe? I'll see if I can. This one. Side. Oh, yeah, there we go. So it's got a little bit in there. Ooh-wee. I'm gonna scoop that up. Boom. A few congratulations too are in order. A huge shout out to my boy Strange Show. 350,000 subscribers. Yeah. 350,000 subscribers. And if I'm not mistaken, I feel like it was just yesterday my boy hit 300,000. So I want to just give a huge shout out to my boy Matt, his brother Nick, and let him know that I love everything they're doing over there. And big congratulations too, because they also bought a brand new house. What? Brand new house. Yep. Things are looking up for them over there, and it's very exciting to see. So sending nothing but love over there to our boys. Also too, guys, just a couple days. The DGC. Can you bring up the page too, Mrs. P?
Yeah.
The DGC is going to be live June 6, 7, and 8, or just 7 and 8, or just 6 and 7. Yep.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Which is 6, 7, 8?
6, 7.
6, 7, 8. So, yeah. I can't wait for that, man. I leave Saturday. I'll be there for the Saturday event. Yeah, you know what? Throw it up on the screen too so they can just see that. Yeah, there we go. The DGC, ladies and gentlemen. So, 2 days of events, the 7th and the 8th. It says that the DGC Growers Cup 2025, June 7th, is the 50 strains, all you can consume. Help us pick the winner. And then on the 8th, it's the Hash Bash 2025. So concentrates, baby. And I am totally stokered about this because, as I'm sure, I'm going to allow this comment and then address it in a second, because this is something that I was going to address later. But anyways, I just want to be very clear that I am so excited to be participating in the DGC that I'm gonna be like fangirling the whole damn time to be able to participate in something so legendary that's by growers for the community. Yes, please, I'll take 2. So yeah, shout out to the boys at the DGC. That's going down Saturday, Sunday. So I can't wait to see you guys if you're tuning in. And question, are you tuning in to the DGC? That's what I want to know. Who's gonna be there this weekend? Put your hands up.
Available.
Tickets are still available. While you guys are answering, Rise Clark says metric is best. Fahrenheit is stupid. Metric is best. Oh, you repeated yourself. No wonder your comment got flagged for spam. No, I don't understand why we would take any stance towards the level of stupidity of any system of measurement. I think that's just takes up brain space that neither you nor I have. A measurement of temperature is nothing to really have an opinion about. However, I want to say something, and I'm going to address this right here, right now. Put out a video this week. It was a banger. Thank you guys for watching it. It did very well. And I said something in passing that many of you have heard me say for years. Weed does not grow in Celsius, okay? I wasn't trying to be racist. I wasn't trying to be offensive or controversial. I didn't realize people would consider that statement imperialism. I was quite actually taken aback. And of all the things I've said over the years, this is the one that gets people the most riled up. Hilarious, guys. For the record, for nobody in this chat, because everybody here has got like a decent head on their shoulders, it was a joke. It was a joke. The reason I say weed doesn't grow in Celsius, which at the moment, or I don't know if you could, I have a shirt that I sell on my merch store that says weed does not grow in Celsius. The reason I say that is because I started growing and started learning at Mass about growing weed. There was no information on how to grow it in Celsius. It's all in Fahrenheit. Everything is in Fahrenheit. If it's not in freedom units, it's like, is it even true? So it's like, I just know that weed grows at 75, 80 degrees freedom units. What is that in Canadian? I have no idea, dude. I have no idea. I don't know. It's like 20 something, 25 maybe. Don't go over 30. It's just like, these are it's just, that's the way it is. It's a joke. Ha ha ha. Pigeon's so funny. Moving on. So I really didn't think it was going to cause a big deal.
The amount of people that commented.
At least a dozen people out of 140 comments commented.
And we're like mad.
And mad. Not just be like, haha, Pigeon says the same thing he always says. Haha. No, these people were legit turnt. Panties turnt. So anyways, I kind of feel good about it. I kind of smiled inside when I found out that people were butthurt about something that I said that was like so dumb. Cheers, guys. And then, yeah, the guy calling it American imperialism. I was like, or exceptionalism. I don't know what he said. It doesn't matter. I was like, dude, I'm Canadian. He's like, yeah, well, shit is still a mindset. I was like, all right. Cheers, guys. This rip's for you, okay? And it's not going to be great, and it's not going to be glorified. It's going to be very mundane, vague, and ambiguous. Cheers. And don't cheer this. No sign of celebratory action here. None. This is for me and me only. And I hate it. Yeah. Very mundane. Not many people get timed out in the chat here. But let me tell you, you got to be a special one to get a timeout in this chat. Just remember that, my friends, this is a place of peace. This is a Times Square. This is a place where people can bring differing opinions and have a conversation about things that otherwise wouldn't be had. Whether it's not had at the dinner table, whether it's not had online, I want to be able to have a space where people can come with differing opinions about the same thing and have a civilized conversation. If you are unable to do that, please just keep your comments to yourself. If you're on the other end and you're cursing, you're swearing, you're pissed off, but you're keeping it to yourself, hey, good for you. You're a man, you're a woman, you're dealing with your shit, and I can handle that. But if you're going to spew it into the chat and you're going to be a bully and you're just going to be negative, I got no time for that. Please don't make my mods work. They're not here to work, okay? They're here to enjoy themselves. So needless to say, the only reason you're going to get banned in this chat is for hatred and stupidity, okay? And stupidity is subjective, so don't dance. All right. So, this is I'm not even going to read it. I'm just going to allow it. That's my guy, Ryan. So, needless to say, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a few quality discussions to have. And I think it's time to have it. But before we get into the news, I want to remind you the question of the night is, what's the most frustrating thing in your garden? What's the most frustrating part of your garden or gardening in general? What's frustrating? What's something that just drives you crazy, grinds your gears, makes you maybe like perspirate a little bit once you get down there? It's just frustrating. I want to hear from you. We're getting into the nudes, Mrs. P. You ready?
Ready.
Let's do it.
Canna News. All things culture, science, and health. Your one-stop shop for all things Canna News.
So, ladies and gentlemen, just a slight intro to let you know what's going on here. If you are new here, which is also much a possibility because over the course of the last, say, month, we've got 1,600 new subscribers. So welcome in, everybody. And if you are new here, please raise your hand and please make yourself comfortable because everybody is welcome. Unless you're dumb. If you're new here, this is a place where I like to talk about all things nudes, culture, science, health. You name it. Nothing is off the table. That's just the way we go. And I like to share stories that I find in the nudes in regards to our plant, the community, the culture, the science, the health, anything that surrounds our plant, or anything that might impact us as consumers, or at the end of the day, adults, men and women, because hey, this is a conversation that surrounds it all. If you would like to add anything to the conversation, head on over to my X. It's such a weird, I can't get over that. How many years is it going to take before we actually refer to it as X and not Twitter, so you know what we're talking about? I don't know. But over on my Twitter is where I like to have the majority of the conversation. It seems to be a good spot for people to bring up news. So if there's something that you see that you would like us to have a discussion with, please just at me, at Pigeons420 over on X, so that I can find it. So that we're on the same page. First thing I want to take a look at was a video that I seen on a rather small channel. And the reason I say I just say it's small is because I want to give it a shout out. It's the Recovery Network. They posted a video of presidents talk marijuana. And they literally go through the last, or maybe not the last, but 6 different presidents, and they give their opinion or stance on cannabis at the time. And I thought this was very interesting. Not only does it give us an insight of the minds back in these times when these presidents were in charge, but it also kind of gives you an idea of the fear-mongering, the straight-up lies that these politicians were peddling to push their cause. And I kind of want us to figure out at the end of the day, what's holding the federal government back from pushing forward? And I know we all have our own ideas, but do any of these answers give light to that question? So I'm just going to play it here. I got it here. Oh yeah, you go ahead, Miss P. Yep.
On a problem with your children, for example.
The first place, we've talked about it.
Assuming it is a problem.
It hasn't, fortunately, been a problem as far as we know with any of our children. I don't think it is. But we talk about it at the dinner table. We talk about it on other occasions. Our children, although I don't think they participate, do argue with me because I am not yet convinced we ought to legalize marijuana. They keep telling me that marijuana is no worse than drinking a martini or a scotch and soda.
Federal criminal penalties for possession of up to 1 ounce of marijuana.
Okay, so that was Gerald R. Ford. This is Jimmy Carter. For anyone who's not in America, I just want to be very clear. This is President Gerald R. Ford and President Jimmy Carter. Sorry, go ahead.
Leaving the states free to adopt whatever laws they wish concerning marijuana.
Nixon.
Whenever you're ready. I shall continue to oppose efforts to legalize marijuana. I shall continue to oppose efforts to legalize marijuana.
Coming to the conclusion
Bragging.
that marijuana, pot, grass, whatever you want to call it, is probably the most dangerous drug in the United States, and we haven't begun to find out all of the ill effects, but they are permanent ill effects.
believes we ought to legalize marijuana. I don't. I think that'd be a big mistake.
I don't think that he says legalization of it. I think what he does say is not put everyone in jail who is merely possessing.
Well, we don't do that in the state of Texas. We put the dealers and the big users in jail. We give people second chances. We say to people, you've made a mistake. The judges in our state have got a lot of discretion.
Well, first of all,
Obama.
What is and isn't a Schedule I narcotic is a job for Congress.
I think it's the DEA that decides that.
It's not something by ourselves that we start changing. No, there are laws undergirding those determinations.
Would you support that move?
But the broader point, I stand by my belief, based, I think, on the scientific evidence, that marijuana for casual users, individual users, is subject to abuse just like alcohol is, and should be treated as a public health problem and challenge. But as I said,
it should be changed to a Schedule II drug. It should not be. We should move in the direction to make sure it's not a criminal offense. It's a civil offense. Number one, anything, in fact, that any conviction at all for marijuana, now or in the future or in the past, your record should be wiped clean. It's not something that is going to send anybody to jail. The reason, and so I support states, in fact, who have already.
And first of all, medical marijuana has been amazing. It's been. I've had friends and I've had others and doctors telling me that it's been absolutely amazing, the medical marijuana. It's got to be done in a very concerted, lawful way. And the way they're doing it in Florida, I think, is going to be actually good. It's going to be very good. But it's got to be done in a good way. It's got to be done in a clean way. You go into some of these places, like in New York, it smells all marijuana. You can't. The way you've got to have a system.
That's where that one ends. I think that's really interesting. It's fun. You kind of, and you get it. You got evidence that goes back as far as Reagan to as recent as Trump, and you have some that are for it back in those times, and then you have some that are against it today. Doesn't matter where you are. It's kind of like you have these lineup of opinions that kind of are all over the place. But one thing that kind of is consistent is kind of the way that it's like throughout all this time, public perception towards cannabis was changing. It was it was growing in favor of, and still politicians were starch against it. One thing that I noticed in particular was how the lies, straight up blatant lies. I think cannabis is the worst drug in the country. It's like, wow. At this point, heroin is a thing, cocaine is a thing, alcohol is a thing. These are all things that have been around already. And yet marijuana is the one that's the most dangerous. What do you think it is that has these politicians saying that cannabis is the worst drug on the streets? Because in my personal opinion, I can almost guarantee that these politicians would say something like this and then go home and then insert a particular drug, whether it's alcohol, whether it's prescription drugs, whether it's cocaine. I would wager, in fact, that that's kind of how it was. And yet there was still these lies. Or how about Bush saying that they only put dealers and big users and dealers? What is a big user? Or sorry, let me finish the sentence. They put big users and dealers in jail. What is a big user or a dealer? What is some 16-year-old kid peddling a couple ounces or a few grams? Is that a big dealer? There's so much vague and so much unknowns put into these sentences and statements for a reason. And it's like, what is the underlying reason for such a stark opinion against this plant? Because guess what? Whether you like it or not, when a president makes these remarks, now I'm not certain if all these presidents were actually in the office of the president at the time of those statements. These might have been governors at the time. I'm not sure. However, what makes you think that these opinions become so one way? How is it that they get so misguided? What is it? Is it the money? Is it the influence from big pharmacy, big tobacco, big whatever, saying, hey, if you don't keep pushing against it, we're simply going to quit giving you funding. We're not going to support you. We're going to go to the other candidate, so on and so forth. It's like, oops, sorry guys, I didn't mean to punch you. What is it that's holding these politicians back? Like, just like right now, we are still waiting for rescheduling to happen. What's holding them back? They're going to tell you that they're looking into things or they're doing the work or research and whatever. The research has been done. The evidence is already out there. What's holding them back? I'm really curious to know what you guys think. What do you guys think? And be honest. What do you think it is? I don't think there's a wrong answer. And if you're, trying to figure out what it is, because we have the right to know, I think. Ouch, mic abuse. Ryan, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. One thing, I spit ice cubes all over the place. One thing I do want to say is I want to thank the Recovery Network for posting that video, because it only has 1,400 views, and I think it's very interesting the stance and kind of the time capsule that this video is in regards to the position that these politicians had at a particular time. Ladies and gentlemen, Texas is back in the news again in regards to their stance on essentially banning and outlawing the hemp, what has become the THC industry. And we kind of covered it a little bit, but there's more to it. CNN is telling us this. Texas could soon ban THC products. The state's booming cannabis industry is fighting back. Blow this up. You might have to pull this one up. I have CNN. I don't know. Okay. Holden Highlander carefully trims the top of a hemp plant inside a greenhouse, one of 3,000 plants that he oversees at his farm, nestled in the sprawling hill country of Texas. Once processed, these crops will turn into millions of gummies that are sold legally in the burgeoning, how do you say that word? THC market throughout the state. But those products may never make it to the shelves, as a bipartisan passed bill now awaits Governor Greg Abbott's signature to ban the sale and possession of THC consumables. By the time Highlander's plants are fully grown and ready to harvest in September, the products they become may be illegal. Quote, "We spent a lot of time getting our process down and following the rules," said Highlander, director of farm operations for Hometown Hero, a veteran-owned cannabis company based in Austin. I've gotten licensed. I've gotten licenses 5 years in a row and had zero complaints about what we do, but yet it's kind of getting pulled out from under us. While cannabis is illegal in Texas, less potent THC products became legal after a federal law, the Farm Bill, was passed, essentially green-lighting the hemp growing industry. These laws were designed to expand cultural opportunities for hemp farmers to allow the sale of CBD oils as wellness products, but critics argue the legalization inadvertently paved the way for the sale of stronger substances like Delta 8 THC or Delta 9 THC, which can mimic the effects of weed. CBD and THC both come from the plant to use to treat anxiety. I don't want to get into that. In the past years, the cannabinoid industry has skyrocketed in Texas, largely due to the stronger THC products. The industry generated $5.5 billion last year alone in sales revenue, $2.1 billion in wages, and $267 million in tax revenue. It is crazy to think that a state that brings in that much money, and this is Texas, we are talking about bringing in billions of dollars, that still wants to ban this plant. I think that is absolutely crazy. So when people say it's the money holding this plant back, my argument is how much money? Because It is more than billions of dollars. So I just think, and not to mention the taxes were 267 million, so a little over $250 million. But it's just it's remarkable to me to see that that we're still seeing such heavy bans in legalization, particularly when the popularity for cannabis right now in Texas is at a high. Over 60% of people want to see some form of legalization in Texas. Recent polls have suggested. So Texans, vote, baby, vote. All right. So here's why another reason to grow your own. Actually, I'll give you a reason to grow your own. Miss Beacon, can you make me a drink? I just need you to pour me a little bit of rum in here. Thanks, baby. And a little cola, please. Another reason to grow your own, ladies and gentlemen. This is coming out of the Portland Press Herald. Mold, arsenic, chemicals found in weed from Maine's illegal grow shops. Grow houses. Whoop, whoop, whoop. The amount of mold in some cannabis samples from illegal Chinese operations maxed out the laboratory's equipment, while others contained lead, pesticide, and banned chemicals. That's insane in the membrane. I will go on. If I subscribe, really? I have to pay? What is the Portland Times? Why am I paying? Oh, no way. All right. Can you find this story, please? Absolutely disgusting. Another reason to grow your own, guys. And you know what else disgusts me? Bring this in tight, Mrs. P. Bring this in. I got something to talk to the people about. You know what else pisses me off? The death of the mainstream media. That doesn't piss me off. The fact that you have to pay for information that could otherwise be very helpful to the people if we spread the awareness, if we told people about it. But yet I got to pay money to be able to... It is such a horrible method of telling the news. It's
I
like,
can't find a single one.
So it's fake. Ladies and gentlemen, just let this be a stark warning. To grow your own weed, okay? Moving on.
They're all behind paywalls.
It's all paywall. It's a fake story. But
It could be.
it's not, though. That's the thing. Moving on to something less dangerous. Cannabis compound could protect us from deadly fungal disease. Figure this out. A dangerous fungal pathogen has proven no match for what may be one of the most useful plants in nature. Scientists studying the chemical properties of cannabis have found it kills one of the most dangerous fungal pathogens in the world in a laboratory setting, at least. Cryptococcus neoformans, a species of fungus behind Cryptococcus and cryptococcal meningitis, appears to be vulnerable to topical treatment with cannabinol and cannabidivarin compounds found in the plant Cannabis sativa, weed. When Cryptococcus neoformans gets in your central nervous system, it causes life-threatening meningitis, explains biologist Hugh Din of Macquarie University in Australia. Macquarie University in Australia. Macquarie, yeah, but look at the IE on the end. Macquarie. The mortality rate, what is it?
It's a Q. M-A-C-Q.
U-A-R-I-E. Macquarie? Macquarie? McDonald's. The mortality rate is very high, and it's really hard to treat. That is wicked. Fungal pathogens pose a pretty significant threat to human health, with around 300 species known to cause disease in humans, with varying levels of severity. Because pathogens such as fungi and bacteria continually develop resistances to drugs, the new treatment options are continually needed to keep them at bay. One strategy is to look at medications that have already been approved for human use for other ailments, Dan and her colleagues turned their research to cannabis, isolating 5 compounds to test on Cannabis nuiformans and a range of other pathogens. They isolated the fungal species in a lab and applied the compounds cannabidiol, which is non-psychoactive. That is a lie. Okay, this is a complete fabrication of the word and a complete misunderstanding. Okay, CBD is psychoactive. Okay, psychoactive means that it actively has an impact on your psyche. Okay, CBD has an impact on that. CBD is psychoactive but non-intoxicating. Okay, that it is very important to make that distinction. Thank you. There we go. Fucking English, man. Because it just, unfortunately, this is just incorrect. Okay, CBD is psychoactive, but it's non-intoxicating, and CBDV, cannabidivarin. Okay, which is psychoactive. Both kill C. neoformans adroitly. Oh, first time I've seen that word in my life. Acting even faster than current antifungal treatments. They were also effective at eradicating the fungal pathogens responsible for such conditions as jock itch and athlete's foot. Well, shit. I'll be damned. Okay, that's very exciting, very intriguing, and I hope that there's going to be more information released on how that impacts and the people that can benefit from it, because that's sweet, man. And it's not just another reason why weed is king or queen. Oh, you made me a drink. Yeah. Thank you, Mrs. P. Legend. So, Kurt, appreciate you, dude. Yes, adroit. Oh, okay. Thank you, JJ. I appreciate that, dude. So I asked if there was any stories that people wanted to have a discussion about earlier, and somebody wanted to mention the discussion about decriminalization in the UK. My stance on decriminalization, as I kind of alluded to earlier, but I'll nutshell it for the TLDR, is that decriminalization is a passing of responsibility of legalization from the legislative branch of government to the judicial branch of government. And essentially, the court system should not be the people, or it should not be the branch that is determining policy, or not determining, but creating policy through its actions. We elect politicians through the legislative branch to do just that, to create legislation, to approve policy, so on and so forth. That's the people, or those are the people that we need to create and craft policy, not pass the buck over to the courts. So essentially, decriminalization just makes something non-criminal, still illegal, just non-criminal. So you won't get a criminal record, but they can still fine you for possession. You can't buy it from a legal store because it's still illegal. You can't sell it because it's illegal. You can't grow it because it's illegal. You can't do anything with it because it's illegal. So essentially, you just pass everything to the black market. This then allows product to go unchecked, to be contaminated, to go through, whatever. It's just, people will lie about genetics, so on and so forth, lie about the process, cut corners, and so on and so forth. So I believe that decriminalization is a passing of the buck. It's weak. It's soft. It's just a way for the people you elect to say, look, we did something, because the average person is going to say, look, it's a step forward. It's not a step forward. It's just a way to milk money out of our people through fines, through court appearances, and essentially headache, rather than just saying, it's legal, go. Here you go. Have at her. So that's my opinion. And I just wanted to touch on that because, someone asked me to cover that story. I touch on decriminalization all the time. I don't think it's big. I don't think it's the right way. So, needless to say, one thing I wanted to mention too is cannabis psychosis is back in. Cannabis-induced psychosis is back in the news again because of a very, very unfortunate story coming out of the UK. Schoolboy slain in unprovoked attack by swordsman during murderous 20-minute rampage, court told. This young man was stabbed a number of times during the unprovoked attack that also saw 5 other people injured. Now, the name of the person might be... Actually, can you scroll up so the name of the person is not... Yeah, I'm going to read this story, but I don't want the name of the guy to be said. So a man carried out a brutal string of attacks with murderous intent, which left a 14-year-old schoolboy dead and 5 others injured during a series of unprovoked attacks. This piece of garbage embarked on a 20-minute rampage with a 60-centimeter Japanese sword in Hainault, northeast London, on the 30th of April last year, while under the influence of drugs. It'll go on earlier. The drug, just to spill the beans here, is cannabis, and it's suggested that he suffered from a cannabis-induced psychosis. The bearded defendant, 30, it doesn't matter, is accused of ambushing teenager Daniel Adjornan as he walked to school and slashed him repeatedly in the chest and neck. This animal has denied the teen's murder, as well as 4 counts of it. This is a piece of garbage. Sorry, let me be very clear. Denied the teen's murder, as well as 4 counts of attempted murder and 1 count of wounding with intent, which left injuries of quote, various degrees of severity. I want to get to the part where they suggest that it is a cannabis-induced psychosis. It might not even be this particular story, but yeah, here we go. Quote, okay, so the prosecution case is that this is a clear case of murder, and that it is also a clear case of 4 attempted murders. We say that the defendant's conduct was brought about by a self-induced intoxication in the form of drugs. End quote. That is what the lawyers said. Quote, this, we say, led to a psychotic disorder, but not one meeting the requirements to make out the partial defense to murder of manslaughter by a reason of diminished responsibility. End quote. The court heard that the defendant's case will say that this piece of garbage was most likely suffering from a pre-existing condition, which created a, quote, vulnerability to experiencing psychotic episodes with schizophrenic-like symptoms prompted by the use of cannabis, end quote. So this is the defense. This is the defense saying this. In a court appearance last month, this piece of garbage denied Daniel's murder and pleaded not guilty to the attempted murders of Donato Iwuli. Do you think I'm saying that right? You probably can't see it, MSP. Cindy Arias, Henry De Los Rios, Polania, and PC Yasmin Margaret Meckham Whitfield, as well as wounding Inspector Molly Campbell with intent. He was also denied aggravated burglary and possession of a bladed article related to a kitchen knife. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack right there, ladies and gentlemen. And, you know, some might call me out for not giving sympathy to somebody who has not been found guilty in a court of law. And you know, maybe somebody who is suffering from a mental lapse, is not, quote, responsible for their actions, I would simply say this. First, I am not a court, okay? I have the right to my opinion. Until a court makes a verdict or evidence is put in front of a judge and jury for me to make a well-calculated decision, I will go on what the evidence that is here and what I see and what I've seen, and I can hold an opinion. Can I change that opinion in the future? Yeah, certainly can. Would I apologize if so? Yeah, perhaps I would. But as of right now, evidence in its totality, I have an opinion, and I'm going to stand with it. This is incredible. Now, of course, incredibly horrible. Now, of course, you're going to see cannabis-induced psychosis become more prevalent in the news over the course of the last few weeks and the upcoming weeks because of this story. But let it be very clear that people who are in favor of cannabis, such as myself, have no problem in admitting that there are people that should not be using cannabis. There are a lot of people that should not be using cannabis. Children, particularly pregnant women. Now, I'm talking smoking cannabis too, to be very clear too, because it seems like that is the most prevalent method of consumption amongst people who are suffering cannabis-induced psychosis. So there are people that shouldn't consume, maybe pregnant women as well, shouldn't smoke. And even myself will tell you that this is a horrible situation, but is weed to blame for what we just seen here? The answer is no. The answer is absolutely not. In the same reason that alcohol is not to blame when some drunk driver decides to get into a vehicle and get into an accident and murders a family. Was alcohol a factor? Yes. Is cannabis a factor? Yes. Correlation doesn't mean causation. It just means we need more education, we need more awareness, we need more conversation. We need to be teaching people about the realities of using cannabis and what could happen if you have pre-existing conditions and ways to avoid it. That's why we need to be having more conversation and less censorship around this plant, is because people should be equipped with this information so that they can go into life accordingly to make a decision that's reasonable and educated. So it's unfortunate that weed's going to take the rap for this one. It is. And you're going to see it. You're going to see it amongst people that are going to be advocating against our plant. And I honestly, I just, it's a tough one to argue against, because at the end of the day, a 14-year-old boy paid with his life. And as a father, putting everything aside, it's hard to see past that. Would it be easy for me to say that it's because of weed, dude? This guy was high and killed somebody. I suppose that's the easy way to go about it. It's the uneducated, it's the ignorant approach. It's an easy approach. But the reality is that the answer is far deeper than that. It's more than that. It's a systemic issue that our culture suffers from. My heart goes out to this family, and all the people involved, because I too have a 14-year-old son, and this hurts, So many blessings to that family, and I don't know what to say, because I don't know what that would feel like for a family, and they have every right to be upset. And anything that family says right now, in my opinion, should be, I don't know. It shouldn't be exploited, because if I would be upset too. So, anyways, that's my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, and that's the nudes, ladies and gentlemen. As I mentioned, it's we talk about anything. Nothing is off the table here when we're talking about anything in between: nudes, culture, science, health. Join the conversation. Let me know what you're thinking, whether you're in the chat, whether I missed you in the chat, because the chat moves a lot, and sometimes I go on these tangents, and sometimes I don't see. So please, if there's something that you would like to add to the conversation and I keep missing it, don't hesitate to ask your question again. I do questions towards the end of the news segment so that we can kind of get on the same page. But yeah, let me know what your opinions are, guys. Let me know, because I'm anxious to hear from you guys. Drill House, good to see you, man. Smoking reefer joints and going loco. Yeah. Yep. PD Right. I actually knew of something very similar that didn't end that badly. Yeah. Some form of psychosis. I get it. No, I get it. Yeah. Weed was probably keeping that at bay. Maybe. No, I get it. I understand. Yeah. I can see where you come with that. You know, keeping that at bay. I don't know though. Like I do think that the evidence towards a cannabis-induced psychosis, first of all, that term is horrible. The term is horrible because I feel like there's far more that leads to that induced psychosis than just weed. I really do. But there is enough evidence to suggest that cannabis can be a trigger for those that are suffering from pre-existing condition of psychosis. And that's a reality. So I don't know if it was really keeping it at bay or at all these years it was actually getting worse. I really don't know. I'm not a scientist. I just think that there needs to be an answer or a common ground that we can all find, that we can kind of perpetuate. No. Yeah. Dank greetings. What's up, LJ Jones? Was it fake weed that could have been spice? That's very possible, Trailblazer, but I think, like I had just said, I think the evidence is pretty convincing towards the idea that there is a correlation between cannabis and psychosis for those that have pre-existing conditions. Let's be very clear. You have to have pre-existing psychosis conditions. It's not psychotic. That's not the right word, right? Psychotic and psychosis are different, right?
No.
Maybe? No? I don't know. Anyways.
They stem from the same thing.
Yeah. Anyways. Adam the Wizard says, Spice doesn't do that shit. I smoked that for years. I'm in America too, but this Canadian skunk is actually legit. I'm assuming you're talking about Weed Bee and not me, so I can appreciate either or, bro. Shout out to that. Shout out to you. There's also a big There's also a big correlation between people that take aspirin and get headaches. Yeah, Redonk. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. There's so many correlations, dude, and that's why I feel like there's so much more at play that doesn't get discussed. I really do. So, yeah, that's why I feel like we need to have the conversation. We need to make it, like, I know we can't do everything here, but at least if anything, we can have this conversation here. Some people will take this conversation to their families or to their loved ones or their friends, and then they'll have a conversation with them, and they'll take it to their mom and dad, so on and so forth, so that the message gets spread. That's my intent. But I appreciate you guys for pulling up. I do. We've got a little bit of planting with P, and it's a little bit different here tonight. We're going to be talking all things in the garden. But if you haven't already, posted on my Twitter X account, what's your biggest frustration in the garden? Okay, what's your biggest frustration in the garden? Head on over to my X account at Pigeons420 and leave your response there, because a lot of people did, and I'm very thankful for that. It's already got 1,000 views, and I posted it 4 hours ago or 5 hours ago, so that's pretty cool. I'm gonna go through it, and I'm gonna try to maybe provide a little assistance or a little bit of my 2 cents in regards to what I think we could do to ease your frustrations and or make it just that much easier for you in the garden. So, plan to a P, Mrs. P, what do you think?
Sure.
Let's do it. Boom. So Mrs. P is going to take the link from Twitter and she's going to post it in the chat. So if you want to post it there, I'll be actively reading this thread. And if you want to participate, ask your question or put your statement in there, and then I'll interact with the chat as we go. Okay. So there's the post, guys. Head on over and let me know what you think. So it'll probably be better for you, Mrs. P, to pull this one up on the screen, not on this screen, and then just kind of follow along with me. Yeah, I'll just go down the list. That one. Yeah. Zoom right in. There we go. A little more. So we can pretty much just see like the couple posts. Yeah, that one right there. So what's your biggest frustration in the garden? And you know what? I just wanted to just dive right into it. So thanks to everybody that's already answered and those that are going to participate. Trent's got a garden. First thing says pulling the elastic trellis net off at the end. I'm going to train heavy and scrap the net this next run. Scroll down just a little more so that the question's like center screen. Yeah, or right there. Yeah, I see how you can see the other ones. I see what you're doing. This is a pain in the ass. If you're not quite sure what he's describing, this is the trellis net that is stretched across your tent and your plant kind of grows through it. And then at the end, when you dry it, it's kind of stuck in there. You can come back to me, Mrs. B. It's kind of stuck to the plant. And then once it's stuck to the plant and you dry it, it's really tough to peel that trellis off the plant. In fact, Mrs. P, what did I do with my last one?
Oh, I just found one in the yard.
She just found it in the yard because I did nothing with it and I just left it and I just chopped all the buds and I just tossed it because I was like, I'm not going to deal with this. We were talking to the one and only Troy, Mr. Northern Scrogger. This would have been probably a couple years ago now. And I asked him what he does with his. Without skipping a beat, he said he tosses it every time. They're affordable enough that you just toss it, you move on. It's a headache to try to take them off and peel it off and so on and so forth. I totally agreed with that statement. To kind of save somebody money, because I get it that just tossing out $6.99 or $4.99 every time is not, I don't think that's smart. I think the best way to kind of avoid that would be to keep the trellis on until it's done drying, trim your buds on the other side of the trellis so that they kind of fall through and try to save it that way. But nonetheless, it's going to be a pain in the ass, or you save yourself, or you chuck it and you spend yourself $6. But who else agrees with T in the garden that pulling the trellis net at the end is one of the most frustrating things? I get it. Now there's a few here with the same statement. Not enough room. This one comes from Daniel Smith. Right underneath it is Jake as well. And I think Chaotic also mentioned not enough room. Jake says not enough space for more plants. Now, I know that you're kind of joking. I just want more space for more plants. However, there are a few ways that you can optimize your tent space to try to make it so you can fit more plants in there. One thing is getting your equipment outside of the tent. Sounds like a no-brainer, I know, but it's something that I did not do until as of recent. I used to have my humidifiers in the tent, just giving off a little bit of humidity here and there, but those humidifiers take up a little bit of room. It's like almost a foot squared worth of space. Get it out of the tent, put a little hose in there, get it going in. Make sure your hoses are upwards and not downwards so it doesn't drip into your tent, but it drips back into the system. So that way, it's you're saving yourself a little bit of room. The reality is like your lights are really the only thing that needs to be in there aside from some clip-on fans, rather than using, say, a standing fan or one propped up or hanging. You can get clip-on fans for the side. Take your exhaust, move it on the exterior of the tent, put it on top. It's another way to do things. For some people, it's a little unrealistic because you're at the maximum height with a 8-foot tent and you're hitting your ceiling. But just a couple ways to maximize room in your tent. One last little space-saving method, trick if you can, is the trays that you use. Instead of using trays, either A, put something underneath the tent to keep it off the ground, so you can put the pot down in the tent, on the tent floor with the liner, so that you can have something to clean. And then that way you don't have little trays that take up more room than the plant itself. So the only downside to that is you do need to clean the liner a little more often, because the wet pots often leave like a little residue or something behind. But you can also buy the little wall hanging things, ACI, Vivo Sun, Spider Farmer. Everybody's got these little wall hanging mounts now. They go in the back of the tent. They mount between your posts. You can put things and hang things on them to get them off the ground. Something to consider as well. But I get it. Frustrating. Having not enough room for tents. Because, we want to grow more, right? And of course, train. If you want to train your plants, you can maximize that space by training them to fit the space that you have. Too Cool mentions pest control. Pest control. He says he lives in a rainforest. We actually just did a video on pest control. I went through a few tips and tricks that you can execute in your garden, in your routine, that'll help you reduce the pests in your garden. The first and biggest thing I think that you can reduce is do your garden work before you go outside. No outdoor clothes inside. That has to be a rule in your garden. If you just finished yard work, you're not going in the garden unless you're going for a shower and you're changing your clothes. You're not going in the garden. Do your garden work first in the middle or first thing in the day so that you can get it done, whether you're naked or not. Then you can go out and do your regular yard work. Hopefully you're putting on some clothes. But the biggest thing, in my opinion, is making sure that you are not using outdoor clothes indoors. Okay? Quarantine plants. If you're getting a cut from your buddy, quarantine it. 14 days. Has to be in its own environment. Needs to go through a full and rigorous IPM regimen. So I want to see you spraying once a week. Different spray every week. I use neem oil, rosemary oil, and peppermint oil. 1 week, if you're going hard, some people do it every like 3 to 5 days. Neem oil. Next, you do rosemary oil, like in the next 5 days. Then you do peppermint oil. In the next 5 days, you do neem oil, and you just repeat that routine for 14 days. Okay. Pests suck, guys. And the sooner we understand that it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when you get pests, that is the biggest hurdle to get over. The biggest hurdle to get over. Ignorance, cockiness, ego have to be put aside. IPM has to be included into your process. Now, I'm not saying you have to spray your plants every week. No, once a month is okay throughout veg to take care of anything that might be pestering on. But it's the process that you have to be taking into consideration. When are you going in there? What are you wearing? And what are you contaminating it with? Things you need to ask. Okay, it's a very good question. Solo says climate control in the mountains of upstate New York. I need all equipment at all times. We were 38 degrees last weekend and 90 today. Humidity does the same. I feel you. Yeah, I feel you. Climate control is a bitch. Let's face it. Doesn't matter where you are. You've got people like Mr. Groder in the desert, myself in northern Canada. I am also using, people are like, wow, you use a humidifier and flower? Yeah, because 30% is just really not desirable for me. I want it to be a little bit higher than that. And with the exhaust fans running, it just, it gets low. I also need to run the exhaust. I also need to run the controller itself. I don't need to run a heater or anything, but the clip-on fans, like everything needs to run. That's why it's like, I've gone automation. You need a smart controller. In my opinion, I'm honest about this. You need a smart controller. You need equipment that plugs into it. And the sooner you do is just the better it's going to be, because the system will grow the weed for you. Just keep the system running. Okay. Shout out to Vivo Sun, the newest member of the flock, guys. Pigeons 420 is turned green. If you want to check out their smart controllers or any of their equipment, head on over to vivosun.com. Use promo code Pigeons 420. Actually, in fact, use promo code Pigeons Coop over on Amazon. You can save a few dollars over there as well. But We are Team Vivo, and they've definitely got you covered if you're looking for. Oh, you have to add the www. So it's a clickable link, Mrs. B. So that you can participate, or so that you can take advantage of their promo codes. But shout out Vivo Sun for taking a chance on me. We appreciate them. I guess not, or I guess it just has to be a link. I don't know. But yes, so I get it. Humidity, temperature can be a problem. Often can be combated by increase. So if you got a bit of a higher temperature, increase the humidity. Remember too, rule of thumb is that mold is not going to take place under 70% humidity. Okay, 70% humidity. So if you're running 60% humidity, you're going to be fine. If you have air circulation, you're going to be fine. Remember that. Now, under 70% everywhere. Might be 65% in your tent, but is it over 70% between the buds? If so, you got bud rot. Okay, so that's a rule of thumb. That's the way it should be. So yeah, keep that in consideration. If you got a higher temperature, increase your humidity. If you've got too much humidity, increase your temperature. There's a balance. Use the like the pulse VPD chart. That'll give you a lot of information, but you can combat one way or the other in terms of trying to keep it leveled out. So, good question, good statement. Thank you, Solo. Deeper roots. The fact that Ohio legislation is cutting my plant count from 12 to 6 per household. Yeah, boo, deeper roots. I think that's horrible. I also think you should have the right to grow as many plants as you want. They don't regulate our tomato plant use. They don't regulate our tobacco plant use. They don't regulate our hop plant use. So why would they regulate our cannabis plant use? However, if they're only regulating how many plants and they're not regulating how much, then you need to train those plants, right? They're regulating plant count, not plant size. Keep that in consideration. Grow big all day. All right. Deeper roots. I wish you the best, and I love that you're going to keep growing. Fight back, brother. Catch you reloading. What's the most frustrating part? Waiting until it's done. Well, not a whole lot of advice I can get you there. You could go for a faster flowering genetic, obviously, but some might argue that a faster flowering genetic is going to provide maybe a differing palette of cannabinoids. That's the most politically correct way I could say that. So maybe is there an argument that shorter flowering cannabis does not produce more sophisticated, more complex cannabinoids than shorter flowering? Maybe there is an argument to that. Shorter flowering, not so long and complex. Longer flowering, long and complex cannabinoids. Who knows? But I get it. Waiting until it's done. That's just something that doesn't get any better. When I can't see a video by you and Rob on YouTube, a list to write out. Yeah, a list to write out. I said, yeah, too long. Sorry, I had that zoomed in too far. When I can't see a video from you or Rob on YouTube, I appreciate you, man. And too long of a list to write out. I get it. Remember, though, let me just try to put this in a nice little nutshell anyways to kind of give context or kind of give advice if I can, is that growing should not be stressful. Growing should not be frustrating. If growing is frustrating to you, reevaluate the process. Maybe, maybe you're going about it wrong. Maybe you're going too big. Maybe your plant size is too many. Maybe you're trying to do too many genetics. Maybe you went hydroponic and you should have just went synthetic. Maybe soilless. Maybe you went organic, or maybe you went bottles and you should have went organic. These are things that we should reevaluate. Make the system work for you. And you know what? I hate to even say it. Maybe growing isn't for you. That's a reality too. Is that not everybody should be growing weed. There are people that simply can't. Whether it's because of their medical or health conditions. There's some people that simply can't based on where they live. There's some people that just simply can't because they just don't have a green thumb, and it's okay. So you need a good quality source. So maybe it's time to look for some good product. And let me tell you, there's good product everywhere. You just might have to look for it, though. That's the only problem, all right? So, nerd, but thank you. I appreciate that. Ohio Grows Organic. Nerd Grow Club. Me. What's the most frustrating? Me. But really, just my heat in the summer. even with air sometimes. Whew, yeah, it can be tough. We kind of touched on that, but the reality is you can combat that with a little humidity. Maybe keep the door open on your tent a little bit, a little more airflow, increase humidity. These are things that will help to combat the heat. Seeds that don't germinate. All right, here's one too, John Thompson. This is something that I think can plague a lot of people. But the reality is that this is twofold. First, quality genetics. You cannot germinate shitty genetics. You can't germinate a bad bean. Okay? Well, you can germinate shitty genetics, but I digress. The reality is it should be a sufficient bean. It should be good. Your success rate for germination should be very, very high. If it is not, there is a problem with your process. If you're going out and you're getting the latest Tiki Madman, or you're getting the latest Mephisto, or you're getting the latest In-House, or you're getting the latest Mr. Grow It, you've got good genetics. I can assure you, you've got good genetics. Your problem is the process. You are too cold. That's the biggest thing, is you're probably too cold. Consider a seedling like a newborn baby. A newborn baby wants to be warm and it wants to be held. Okay? The same thing with a genetic. A brand new seed wants to be warm and it wants to be nurtured. How do you nurture it? With heat and moisture. I personally think a heat pad or a heat mat is a hack. It's a cheat code for germination and cloning. I do. If you've got a heat mat, you got a dome, your success rate is going to be well over 80%. It's ridiculous. Remember, you cannot drown a seed. Okay? You can't. Once it sprouts a taproot, now you can. There's people that put seeds in shot glasses and they do just fine of water. You can't drown a seed. So keep that moist, or keep that medium moist until you see something sprout. Okay? Something to consider. But yeah, between quality genetics, humidity, and temperature, your germination rate should be 100%, baby. Okay? Now, obviously, mine's not 100%, but it's well over 95%. Okay? Good luck on your next endeavor. Joe, me getting old. I feel you on that, brother. Shit is not easy as it was 20 years ago. Getting down, man, then back up again, shuffling jugs of RO water. I fucking hate trimming. It only took several thousand pounds, but I am sick of it. Everything else I love. Joe, I understand that we caveated that with everything else I love. Dude, of course we do. That's why we still do it. Of course we do. But the reality is that growing weed is not hard. Growing good weed is. Because you need to understand the process. You got to understand the plant. You got to understand your needs, your environment, your abilities. And it continues to change. And it continues to evolve as we get older. I'm going to say this with all due respect. Joe, make it as easy as possible for yourself. Get those plants on rolling trays and not trays where you got to bend down, pick them up, and move them around. Put them on wheels, man. Put it on a little crazy. What do we call those things in high school?
Oh, the little scooters?
Scooters. Yeah, put it on a little scooter. Okay. Move that thing around. Push it with a broom handle or a broomstick, so you can push it around. Make it easy for yourself. Bring the watering cans or bring the plants to the watering cans. Whatever you need to do in whichever direction is what you need to do. Maybe grow smaller plants, more smaller plants, so they're not so heavy. One day there'll be a genetic out there that just grows itself. And it's going to make things a lot easier. But the reality is that's not true. Or it's not going to happen. But I do find automation does make things easier, but does not alleviate headaches. Okay? Makes it physically easier, but it doesn't alleviate headaches, because with technology comes inherent problems. You got to keep the technology fed. You got to keep it with power fed, whether it's with water, whether it's power. You got to keep it running. You are the the donkey behind the system. So it's, you know, it does make things easier, but it doesn't alleviate headaches. So make it easier for yourself, my friend. I get it. Those jugs of water, is there any way you could have a hose running where you could run it from to and from so that you don't have to use or so you can use gravity and you don't have to walk it back and forth? All things to consider. But Joe, in fact, I'm actually going to do a video on this. That's a great idea. I can think of a million other ways to make it easier on yourself, and I thought of it in regards to the hose going all the way from wherever. It's like I could put a hose on my tap and have a 15-foot hose that just goes straight into the garden where I just turn it on and just psh, or whatever, right? So yeah, I'm going to dive into that one more. So Joe, that's a good question. I appreciate you for participating. Jean-Franc Atteriora Otirora. I'm not French. Spider mites. I get it. I hate spider mites. In fact, it is by far the worst invasive bug I've ever had. Spider mites are by far the hardest, most invasive, heartbreaking pest that you can get. And I say that because I'm slightly biased because it's one of the only pests I've really had aside from thrips. But it's like once spider mites set foot, your bud's done. It's done. It's not going to be saved. You can save it with other bugs. Spider mites are essentially just the pest devil for our plants. And the best way to avoid it is a good, rigorous IPM before the bugs set in. You have to take bugs serious before you get bugs. Full stop. Okay? You cannot use, in my humble opinion, anything other than water on your plant in flower. So if you get anything in flower, it is very difficult to get rid of it. And spider mites are no exception. So yeah, just fuck. Yeah. Adam says spider mites have shut down my growth 3 times. It is very tough to get rid of them. But like I said, the best way to work it is to get rid of them by avoiding them in the first place. So yeah. And John Smith says gnats / Gaia Green. I'm assuming Gaia Green frustrating. I'm not sure how that works, but gnats is the same thing. Okay. That I can't smoke it all at once. Okay, drop zone. Yep, I get it. I feed Smurf. Says feeding should be easy as well. You need stash blend, baby. Get yourself a small base newt and then throw stash blend for everything else. It's cheap, it's affordable, it's easy, and it provides just about everything your plant needs at a great cost. So feeding should be easy. Get some stash blend. Sold out in Canada, by the way. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. I don't know how I put this one in there, Pickard. Can you just pull it up on the screen so it reads? I can't. I don't want to read. The grapists. 1 minute I'm down there watering, then bam. This man is molesting his polants. Septoria. I don't even know what that means. What's Septoria? Do you know, babe? Sure. I don't know if you should. Filling humidifiers. Yeah, that's one that sucks too. So the bigger the humidifier you get, the better. The reality is, no matter how big it is, it's just bigger one to fill.
Oh, it's a leaf fungus.
It's a leaf fungus. Oh, okay. Yep. Okay. So.
Necrotic leaf.
Cheryl says, I felt frustrated when I heard pigeons say you shouldn't touch your plants or open your tent for no reason after they're done stretching. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, Cheryl. I get it. I felt frustrated when pigeons said I couldn't touch your plants. The reality is that once you're in flowering, I have a rule of no touchy-touchy. After you're done flowering, no touchy-touchy. After you're finished the first 3 weeks of flower, stretching in flower, no touchy-touchy. Now, if you're not totally confused, great. But the reality is that when your plant goes into flower, it spends the first few weeks stretching. because now that there's more dark, it's using some of those stored nutrients, which is giving it a boost in the stretch. You need to maintain that stretch. You have to bend the plants. You have to do whatever it is to keep them away from the lights and to keep it contained. After that stretch period, you want that plant to focus solely on bud production. If you're touching and you're bending and you're smelling and squeezing, you're taking away from the development of that plant, because now it's going to repair whatever you did to get that smell or to bend or whatever. No touchy. So yeah, default those, Drew. Yes, before week 3. I do not touch. No touchy after week 3. That includes default, leaves, nothing. Let the plant do its thing. Okay. So yeah, I get it. And one hairy wizard living in the middle of the woods. IPM, it's never ending. The thing that works the best, sulfur can't be used in flour. Yes, as we've kind of harped on in regards to IPM, it sucks. Taking bugs into consideration is a horrible thing, but it's the reality. You're creating an environment for plants to grow in. Inadvertently, you're creating an environment that's perfect for plants or pests. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, my friends, because it's inevitable. And whether you like it or not, there's bugs in your tent right now. Okay? There's bugs in the tent right now. They're just not killing anything. They're just not horrible. So look at this. Welcome to the flock. JRats420. Thank you. Cheers, P. I really like the content you put out on YouTube and Instagram. Thank you for everything you do for the flock and community. JRats, becoming a member of the channel, opening up a bunch of exclusive stuff. Thank you so much, JRats. I appreciate the support. Thank you for being here through the ups and the down. I appreciate it. And thank you for supporting me. The members of the channel, my patrons, thank you guys. Thank you for allowing me to be community funded and dream driven. This channel, you know, it's like I don't have to be accountable to anybody but you guys. It's like it feels great. So thank you to those that gamble. Thank you guys for taking a Get Jab, and LJ Jones for the $5, baby. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's have a rip. Let's have a rip. You know, let's have a rip every time we get a dono, okay? Because like it's celebratory. I think it's only fair that from now on, every time there's a dono, we're gonna have a rip.
That could be dangerous.
It could be, but it only works out. Is that the Panero tree? Smoke that like button, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. You already know, baby. You can overcome Septoria, though. Okay, good to know, DJS. I appreciate you. And LJ, thank you, man. Thank you. Is that Astro, too? Son of a gun. Mr. Untrained Astronaut's here as well. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Mrs. P, I'm going to need out of the 4th drawer on the 2nd cabinet to your right, I need the smallest bag of weed, please. Yep. It's all right. I caught it. I caught it well
I
played.
didn't realize until our previous conversation how many drawers you have.
4, 8, 12, 16 drawers. Yep. And they're not full. They're not full.
No, so it's like nothing in that one.
Getting there. Bonnie, I'm at work too. Shout out to everybody who's at work. Oh, hey. What's up? Mr. Astro is in the house. Good to see you, man. And I can't wait to see you, sir, at the DGC. Can't wait to see you at the DGC. Oh, Astro, it's okay. You said, oh, hey. I get it. It's okay. No, half of it was there. It was, oh, hey, they. Skittles? I haven't even had my first one yet. Thanks, dude. Hold on, that's a big... fuck it. That's a big stem. Do you guys pull the stems off before or no? All right, we're gonna have 2. We'll do 2 back to back, okay? Okay, no more though. I don't want to do 3 back to back. That's absurd. Grow bags actually work? Is that a question or a statement? Because Bees Basic Bites, yeah, they actually work. They 100% actually work. Skittles, dork. Oh, So now I'm puffing on some frosted lemonade. Frosted lemonade. I bring it in on the side shot, but the problem is I have to bring the focus in. I don't have the focus. Don't have autofocus. Can't this year. Fucking torn rotor cuff. Oh, no way. Bosco Buds, man. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. Hope you get better. Quick heal, okay? Yo, T. Hey. Thanks, brother. Thanks for that gifted sub. Or gifted membership. Thank you, man. Thank you for all the love, guys. I appreciate you guys so much. You animals. Yeah, grow bags work fantastic. It's crazy. I was one of the biggest skeptics before I used them. And then I used it, I was like, oh, this fucking plastic bag works just fine, actually. And in fact, works better than almost every other container curing device. So yeah. My zippers have worked on all of mine. Now, grow bags I've never had a relationship with them. I talked to them at the MJ BizCon because they allowed us into their chill room or whatever, but like never had a relationship with them. I think I took free bags off their table. That's about it. So I just want to be totally open, but it's like, I have never had a problem with not one zipper, and I'm using some of the same bags that I've been using for years. So yeah, I don't know. I like them. I swear by them. And next on this harvest coming up, I'm going to be doing the Canatrol. Cheers. And I'm excited for the V-Cure too. Cheers, guys. Mr. Fallen Angel, 2 Canatrols? That's crazy, dude. I think the final seal is when you heat seal it. Yeah. I've never heat sealed mine, though. No, I've never heat sealed them. Yeah, I just leave it open. I haven't used the Canatrol. Cheers, Peter. Cheers, blah, 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 blah. Cheers, Basic. Okay, I gotta have a second one. But that's crazy because I don't do 2 bong rips.
Back to back.
Back to back. Like I don't do small bong rips. Bring this cam in. This is a full bowl.
Don't dump it.
Yeah. I'm gonna, so I don't have to smoke it. This is a full bowl. I don't cheap out. And then I cash it too. Okay. Oh. This hoot is going to be mediocre. I'm not going to glorify it. It's going to be mundane and very ambiguous. Non-glorified. Did I say that? Possibly be not non-harmful either. I suppose I didn't have to take big ones.
You didn't have to. It could have been mediocre.
All right, thanks, boys. Appreciate those donuts, man. Appreciate you guys. And thank you for that membership, man. You got this, P? Yeah, I'm sweating like a motherfucker right now, dude. Okay. I'm better now. That was...
And that's the end.
That was non-glorified. Oh. That's a good... No, Bonnie, stop. No, Bonnie. Keep on keeping on. Appreciate all the knowledge. Thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate that very much. I was just joking, though, when why is there a person at our door? I'm checking right now. Is that a shooting star?
No, it's the moon.
Oh, what's that streak going by it?
Probably just dirt on the camera.
Oh,
I'm assuming there's just a bug.
is it an asteroid?
It's the moon.
See that bright? Hold on, they're gonna be able to see this. Look at this. Does that not look like an asteroid coming at me? There's even like a little streak behind it. Look at that! Pending doom. Is that not an asteroid coming out my front door?
It's not.
It's got a streak and everything. It's not though. She's confident.
I'm very confident.
She's an astronomer, if you guys didn't know. Maybe it is. Yeah, pending doom. No big deal. No big deal.
Do you want me to go outside and look?
Should you? No, it's okay. Oh, actually.
Yeah, it's a bug.
Oh, it's a bug. Yeah, I thought I saw a mosquito flying across there.
I hate this thing sometimes.
I'm gonna trouble you for a drink.
Okay.
Oh. Shout out to tweeters. Shout out to the tweeters.
There was a question.
Oh, there was a question. Hold
I
on.
was trying to find it.
All right, ask your question again if you had a question, guys.
Oh, I found it.
Okay, I'm gonna pack a bowl for Bonnie here.
Okay.
Packing bowls for Bonnie.
Surfed Out asks, do you still reuse your Pro Mix? And if so, what do you do? Just flush and reamed?
Flush and what?
Re-amend?
Re-amend. I do not reuse my soil in the garden. I did try that, but it's tough. Like it's not tough. Like I mean, if you want to grab a tote, drill some holes in the bottom of it, fill it with your used potting mix, soak it, get it to a pretty neutral pH, then or parts per million of pH. Then sure, yeah, do that. I choose not to. I'd much rather reuse it in my backyard as like soil, like so that I can level out my yard. I use it when I'm planting flowers in my for my front yard or whatever. There's a lot of divots and holes in my garden or in my yard, so I'll just take some Pro Mix and I'll level it out. Yeah, I use it for everything else other than the garden, to be honest with you. Very seldom does my stuff go to waste. Like, it might sit behind the shed in a little bit of a pile for a minute, but it won't last a couple months before I'm using it in the yard somewhere. Black dirt and soil is hard to come by. So use the stuff that's coming out of your garden and just keep it. But yeah. Idiom, what is the score of the hockey game?
Oh.
Or is it over?
I don't know.
It's going to be over, actually. Just kind of curious.
3-3 in overtime.
No way.
There's only 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the first overtime.
Oh my gosh. So I know Little P is not in bed right now.
Oh, that turd.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
because he'll have no way of watching it.
Oh, you're right. Oh, he'll be just updating his phone, updating the thing, asking Siri, "What's the score? What's the score?" I'm gonna grab a drink. Oh, look at that. Do we have anybody watching the NHL series right now? Anybody care about Florida versus Edmonton? And if you do, who do you guys got? Florida or Edmonton in this one? What do you guys got? Who do you guys got? Because I'm curious to know. I'm a Canadian, so I want to see Edmonton win, but I'm a Marchand, Paul Maurice, and Bobrovsky fan, so it's like I'd like to see Florida win too. But that's it.
Hear him right now.
I know. I've been listening to his footsteps. So, 1 minute left in overtime. Love it. Love it. I reuse all my soil. Yeah, Bonnie, and you can. You totally can. My yard loves the DWC I threw out last year. Yeah, there you go. Yep. Oh, oil win. No way.
Mine hasn't updated yet.
In less than a minute left in first overtime?
No, mine still says a minute left in overtime.
4-3. Idiom knows he's going to be watching.
Seconds.
He's going to know. Wow. Wow.
It's not updated.
With 40 seconds. What does the time say?
50 seconds.
Oh, you're 10 seconds left. 40 seconds. Go, Edmonton. So I really have no skin in the game in this series, but it's like I want to see either team win. Doesn't matter. Marchand's my guy, man. Marchand's my guy. He scored the second goal of the game.
34 seconds. Why did this take so long?
I don't know. Mighty Ducks. I bet it's nice and cool at the ice arena. Heat was brutal today. It can be. Oh, yeah. Yep. Oh, it certainly can be. All right, let's have a rip for Bonnie. Cheers to Edmonton. Shout out Idiom, because I know he's cheering for Edmonton. Has been the whole time.
Draisaitl unassisted.
And Draisaitl. Wow, he's a power tonight too, man. Good for him. Good for him. He got the first one. Anyways, way to alienate my audience because nobody watches hockey. Cheers, friends.
There's a couple. Rooting for the Zephyr.
Thanks, buddy. Okay, no more. I'm done. Ooh wee. Put it in there. So little housekeeping items, ladies and gentlemen. If you're new and you didn't know, I am live on Twitch every single day that I'm not live right here, right now. Twitch.tv/pigeons420. For anyone who's look at
to show all the smoke.
Look at the smoke going up. Twitch.tv/pigeons420. Come hang out. But let me warn you though, I'm a gamer, guys. I game out. I'm a stoner, I'm a father, I'm a husband, and I'm a gamer. So come hang out, come talk some shit, come murk the kids on some Call of Duty or some PUBG or some role play. I do some Grand Theft Auto role play as well. Come check it. Come hang out. You might actually have some fun and participate in the conversation because we talk about everything. We talk about everything over there. Nothing off the table because there's no censorship. No censorship towards our towards our plant either. I'm okay. I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be fine. I'm trying to recover. Most people don't try to continue conversation after such a mess. I'm fine. You're high.
You're
Oh.
I might be high now. I'll keep it this way.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Wouldn't doubt it at all. Look, housekeeping. Back to housekeeping. I want to give a shout out to everybody who's been watching Tea with P over on Tea with P. I'm going to share a link here in the chat for the flock. If I could get all mushy gushy with you guys for a half second. Oh, I found a baggie.
Side track.
I started the Tea with P channel. I don't even know. It was months ago, months and months. And I was really nervous on like getting things posted and doing that as its own thing because like, who am I? You know, have you guys ever heard of imposter syndrome? Where it's like you don't feel like you're worthy enough and you feel like you're walking in someone else's shoes and as if it's like this isn't supposed to be for me. That's what this feels like. That's what this show feels like. That's what the interviews feel like because sometimes things are so surreal that even I have a hard time processing what's going on. And so I really hesitated to start the channel because I was nervous. I didn't want to test the water. So I did. Mrs. P's been pretty much doing the heavy lifting for the channel. and thumbnails and making sure the timing and the scheduling and everything is done. And it took 3 videos for the 4th video to take off and for things to really start rolling over there on the channel. And I am so thankful for that, because the first video that started to take off was the video with Scotty Real, from Dude Gross. The video's got 4,000 views. And maybe that's not a lot to some people, but this channel only had 200 subscribers. And to see thousands of views on a channel that has no subscribers is amazing. I haven't seen this kind of growth on a channel that's unrestricted in 7 years. I have not seen this kind of growth in 7 years. I know that might sound like an old man here, but the reality is like, when I started this, you could get away with a lot more things on YouTube than you can get away with now. You simply couldn't get away with, you can't get away with anything now. But back then you could. In 2018, suppression hit, and it hit like a freight train. I got deleted and so on and so forth. I'll spare you the story. It's suppression. It is what it is. Everybody deals with it. Rob, thank you so much, man, for that $5, dude. See you at the DGC. I'm gonna hoot to that. But the thing is that I'd never seen this kind of growth on a channel that I'd worked so hard on before, because it just doesn't happen. And when I saw it, it was amazing, dude. Posted the second video, the 5th video, the second video to go viral. Viral. It's not viral, but to kick it off, the flock responded. It was with Rob. It got 4,000, 4,500 views. Might even be at almost 5,000 now. And I was like, oh my God. 2? I didn't expect this. I expected months of kind of slow roll. And then I post a video with Chris, Rob, Mr. Grow It. Boom, it explodes. Number 2 video. It's like, it's the number 2 out of the last 6 videos. It's like, you guys fucking A are watching them and liking it and hitting the like button in the comments. So thank you for that. I want to say, though, there was 3 videos before that. The one with John, the one with Strange Show, and the one with Todd McCormick. They unfortunately didn't kick off. Those were the 3 that took the momentum to catch up or to catch the algorithm. I'm probably gonna remove those ones and repost them. If the algorithm's kicking these videos now, then I might just give these ones another shot in respect of those guests, because I really want them to take off too. So if you guys didn't know, and I'll share a link again right now, you can subscribe to the Tea with P channel, where you get just the interviews. And I waited to make this announcement now because, you know, I wasn't 100% sure where I was going to stand, but I'm pretty certain that the interviews are now going to be exclusively on Tea with P. There will be some interviews live. We'll do like maybe like once a month or something, where we get a guest to come in and we just shoot the shit. We have fun. We drink some drinks. We smoke some weed and we have some fun. But the interviews are very quickly going to become exclusively on Tea with P, because I just really didn't expect to see that kind of response. And and here's the biggest reason for this. And please know that I've thought so hard about this. I'm throwing ball with my boy and he's talking to me. I'm thinking about Tea with P. Okay? It's such a disservice to my son, but this is the shit. My wife's looking at me and she's having a conversation. I'm thinking about Tea with P. Okay? As she looks at me right now. Uh-huh. I know. So it's like,
We both are.
So it's like, I want the quality of my interviews to be top notch. I've already explained this before and why and all this stuff. And the best way to do that is to record that video not live. I record it locally in 4K edit it in 4K, post it in 4K. And I think that's going to do an incredible service to my guests and to the quality of the channel and so on and so forth. So that's the decision I've made. We will, like I said, we will still have guests on the show because I think it adds a new dynamic and a new segment, but it's going to be in a different way. I've already got ideas in mind of how I'm going to do it. Might even be multiple guests in one episode, but the biggest thing is scheduling guests for live episodes is tough. And as I mentioned before, 2 reasons. Scheduling for guests at 10 o'clock is Central, 10 p.m. Central is tough for anyone who's not anywhere else other than Central or Pacific time. If you're Eastern or in Europe, well, all those people are off the table because it's the middle of the night for them. They're not going to want to be coming on a show to talk, right? Some will, but not all. I want to tap into a lot of minds here. So it was a no-brainer. So that's a big thing. And of course the quality. But yeah, that's it. Mrs. P is the real MVP, hands down, Bonnie. You don't need to tell me twice. So, but yeah, that's small changes only because I see this. I see the longevity of this show. I see the longevity of Tea with P, and I see the longevity of the interviews. And I'm just excited to step it up another notch, man. Take that pedal that was almost to the floor, push it to the floor, baby, because that's just what we do. Okay, I gotta have a hoot for Rob for that $5, bro. I appreciate you. You have no weed after this by the end of this. But I appreciate all of you guys. No, she's getting high over there. She's getting high over there. But thank you guys. I appreciate you guys for going through the ups and the downs. We were over on Twitch the other night, and I was watching the very first episode with Mr. Grow It. And oh my God, Mrs. P.
Yeah.
It was treacherous. Yeah. So, there's something to be said about tuning into the live shows because the live shows is going to be content that's just different from the rest, right? And it's going to be raw and unedited, and that's just the way it is. It's just now having things where I can prep it, make it right, make it tight, make it so presentable. Not to mention you can actually follow Tea with P on all audio platforms. Most audio platforms. Spotify, Apple's podcast. I don't even know the other ones. Amazon podcast, whatever, or something. Yep. So if you're driving in the car and you want to listen to Tea and you want to chill, interviews, right? Just the interview portion.
Yeah.
Just the interview portions are posted on Tea with P podcasts. So if that's something you're interested in and you want to watch, you can do that. And I want to make a pledge to you guys that with the power that you've given me, that you've invested in me, that I want to make this experience for you and for everyone that chooses to tap in to be the best experience possible, both visually, audibly, and emotionally, contextually. I want it to be insightful. I want it to be entertaining. I want it to be humorous. And I make the pledge to you to step it up each and every episode to ensure that you're getting the best of the best of the best. Okay? So that's my pledge to you. I appreciate you guys for watching through the ups and the downs and the curves and the adja and all that. And thank you to the donos tonight. I appreciate all of you. Thank you to the memberships that take a pledge on me. Thank you. Thank you. I can't say it enough. All the green in the chat makes me smile. Okay? Thank you guys. And thanks to all my patrons for supporting me. I appreciate you guys too. Thanks to everybody who comes in and taps in on these videos. Thank you for leaving a comment. Potato, I see you following over on Twitch. Thanks, man. Potato A7X6661. Thank you for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate you. I got a stem in here. Hold up. There we go. I said there was a stem. There we go. Said there was a stem before I ground it, but cheers, friends. Thank you, Rob, for that dono, man. I appreciate that $5. I appreciate that $5. Perfect every time, boy. I appreciate you, Double A. I appreciate you, man. Just like the things I say to my wife, you're just telling me that because you have to. Okay? I appreciate that, man. Thank you guys. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, man. Mrs. P and I would not be where we are if it was not for you guys, for this experience that you provide us. And I don't take this lightly, man. I love the opportunity to come here, spread the nudes, talk shit about things I know nothing about, to enjoy some hoots, to enjoy some drinks, more importantly, some laughs and some memories with you guys. That's what this is all about. So thank you. Thank you.
No cap.
No cap.
Or cap.
Or cap, I mean.
Not sure.
Not sure. I'm not sure. I think it's no cap. Maybe it's cap. You're right. I don't remember.
No, he told me no cap isn't a thing.
No cap is a thing because I'm no cap. I'm negating the cap.
Right.
He doesn't understand. Denton, I appreciate you too. Visions, thank you, man. DJS, I appreciate you. Mrs. P, one more time, can you put the link to Tea with P in the chat? Because you're going to be seeing some surprises over there. Pardon me? You can, yeah. You're going to be seeing some surprises over there you won't see anywhere else. What rum are you drinking? Did you pour it in your bong? No. Bamboo. Bamboo. Go on over there, hit the subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that subscribe button. Pacha! And go hit the video up and let me know that you joined the club, guys. Seriously, thank you guys for making my dreams come true. Thank you for helping me support my family. Thank you for making me feel like a kid while I chase my dreams. It's hard to say, but can you zoom out for a second, Miss P? That's me up there. It's hard to say. Oh, you can't see it. Don't worry about it. I'm not even going to go on about it. I appreciate you guys so much for carrying me to the places I would like to see myself. I will be at DGC this weekend. I hope to see you there. Tickets are still on sale, dgccup.com. Check that out. We'll be there. And Rob, Chris, and I would look forward to seeing you guys. And we're looking forward to smoking some really good weed. LJ, we'll see you Sunday, dude. Sunday. Make sure when you pull up, LJ Jones, dude. LJ Jones, okay? So I have a screen name. Guys, I hope to see you over on Twitch, okay? Twitch.tv/pigeons420. Mrs. P, shout out to Mrs. P and running the ones and twos, running her game, doing that thing. I love it, man. And she does so much behind the scenes from that you don't even know, that go far beyond this show. She runs this operation. She runs my family. She's my best friend. She's my queen. And I couldn't have picked a better person to grab hands with and to tackle life and to just endeavor everything that comes in front of us with. So shout out to my wife. I love you. Tons and tons. Ditto. We'll see you guys next week.
Yes.
Next week, but regular time. Now, Thursday, 9 p.m. Central. Thank you guys so much, okay? I hope to see you guys in the chats, okay? Oh, what's this? Make sure I shake. Whoop. There we go. Boom, I'll show it. I don't even know. Appreciate you. P, LJ is my name. I know. I like that. It's easy for me. LJ, take it easy, dude. See you, Dro. See you, Hog Fan. See you, DJS. Garden Quest. Appreciate you, dude. See you, Curly Green. Appreciate you too, man. Grab it hard. Take care, dude. John Lindsay. Peace, homie. Thanks for being the first one here always. Except for today, you were the second, but I love you. Maybe the third. But I appreciate you, dude. Shout out Mrs. P. That's Wild Element. Thank you, dude. Shut you out. Mini Cannabis. I appreciate you. Kiss Mrs. P. She's the woman. Yeah, you damn right she is, and I will. B Basic Bites. Appreciate the support, dude. Fucking A. Take it easy, dude. Shackleford, thanks for your participation. Thank you guys all for coming in here. Thank you for smoking that like button. More importantly, thank you for commenting. Thank you for participating, because your actions in here are what make this whole operation revolve. So thank you for participating. That's out. That's it. I'm out. No more words. Peace out.
diamonds so pearls, and I'm gonna take you traveling the world. I'm gonna love you, babe, cross my heart and hope to die.